Hello again, everybody. I just want to make a follow-up video to the Sinn Féin video I made the other day that seemed to be a real eye-opener for many Irish Americans and even Irish people in Ireland when I just basically showed that they are the Muslim Brotherhood in Ireland. This is their only agenda from and the whole left in Ireland because they see that they see mass immigration from the Middle East and Islam as their only chance of ever getting into power in this country at the ballot, which wouldn't happen anyway because they'd all vote for an Islamic party in the end. But that's really what Sinn Féin are now by default. They are the Islamic Republic Party of Ireland, or the Islamic Revolutionary Party of Ireland. That's why you need to hear the word Sinn Féin. That's what you think. Now, just to prove this, to bring this case home, the Misha Era festival in Drumshanbo, the local loopers, the handful of local Antifa types, head cases, uh, were not really getting their way in cancelling that thing until the local Leitrim Sinn Féin party came in and spread rumours that there was going to be UDF and loyalist paramilitary types there waving, Union Jacks and things like that. And that's what really killed it off in Drumshanbo. That was the thing that killed it in the end when Sinn Féin got involved and became the primary assassins of an Irish festival. So I do hope people in Leitrim and the whole country at the next election, whether it's local or national or European, whatever, to remember that a vote for Sinn Féin is a vote for the Islamic Revolutionary Party of Ireland. Now, this video specifically addresses this towards Irish Americans who are very surprised to hear this, but it's important you know this. Enormous amounts of money, and I'm talking countless millions, including things like life savings and houses have been sold over the years, were sent from Irish Americans to Sinn Féin and the Republican movement here under the notion that it was going to pay for getting the British out of Northern Ireland or getting Northern Ireland out of the UK or United Ireland or whatever, and that was the mechanism that they were funding. And that's not what they were funding. They were funding the exit strategy to get them out of that and into something new. And the something new we now know is the Islamic Revolutionary Party of Ireland. Now, they didn't achieve that. The United States, the UK still controls Northern Ireland. That hasn't changed. Why? Because there's a million people there, so who want it that way, and who are we? They've been here for 300 years. Who are we to tell them what they want? And if anything's going to decide, it's by the ballot box. And I'm not particularly fussed one way or another. It would depend on the nature who's controlling the United Ireland rather than the actual symbol of it. And Sinn Féin's agenda this is why this Palestinian flag, this is why the Sinn Féin have raised a whole generation of Irish children who now think that the flag of Hamas is the flag of Ireland. They're not even aware of it. And if it's not that, it's the pride flag. They don't even know that the tricolour exists anymore. They literally the little babies are born all over Sinn Féin territory in Ireland, north and south. All they see is a sea of Islamic nationalism flags. That's stage one, and the next stage is to have them all speaking Arabic. And this is why, so the money that your grandmother sent in the 80s. Well, I lived in America. I saw these fundraisers myself at Irish American festivals and everything. What they were well-meaning people giving money to this cause, or dances at Cayleys and things like that. That money has paid for Islamic schools in Ireland. That money has paid for opening mosques, canvassing the Islamic community here, encouraging open borders. We're specifically targeting immigration from the Islamic world. That's what your family paid for when they gave money to Sinn Féin and the Republican cause in Ireland. That's where the money went. That was the end game. That's where it went to. Everything else was a means to an end because you're dealing with communists. As I said in the other video, they are hardened communists, and communists see Islam as the unifier and the way to destroy Irish culture in order to bring in a new political paradigm that they can exploit. So, like literally, the Sinn Féin, the Sinn Féin Ardèche, the Sinn Féin parliamentary parties and committees, they're working night and day to eradicate the Irish people off the face of this island. and replace them with people who are Arabic Muslims who'll vote Sinn Féin. That's literally all they do. They do nothing else, and that's that's their agenda. Now, so first of all, if you are anyway Irish freedom inclined, you shouldn't be inviting these people to speak at Irish American events. You shouldn't allow them into it. You shouldn't give them any money, any funding. You should cut off any checks you send to Sinn Féin, friends of Sinn Féin in America or Canada or anywhere around the world. They have their little fundraising operations. You shouldn't buy their books. You shouldn't buy anything from music artists that are affiliated with them, and because every penny spent on that is building the crescent flying over Ireland. That's what that is. It's building the crescent flying over Ireland, and it's a very serious matter. It's not. I know it sounds like jokey and fun, but this is a very serious stuff. So, like, we had the Michera Festival on and Saturday in Castlebar. If you're an Irish American involved or partaking or in even influencing Irish American festivals in America, and there's loads of them. There's huge ones in Milwaukee and places like Minneapolis, St. Paul. There's loads of them in New York, Boston area. Everything. Decouple all of that from Sinn Féin and Sinn Féin type things, and basically look to creating a Michera type energy, or even contact the people from Michera and see if they will help you put together something like that in San Francisco or Minneapolis or Milwaukee, and as the new face, the new cultural face of Ireland, that the true cultural face of Ireland, because that's what's happening here. That's literally what's happening here, and you're going to have to wake up on this subject, because it's not that I have a hatred of like Muslim people or Arabic people or anything like that. It's just that cultures can change very quickly, especially on a fragile island with a population. The whole island's population is not even 8 million. It could happen like that very quickly, in this kind of thing. And then once it's gone forever. And you've got to make a choice now which side of history you're on. So, like, the red flags with these people, if they're like overly focused on Gaza, like, it's terrible what happens to ordinary people in Palestine and Israel and in the Middle East. It's awful, and that includes the Druze being currently slaughtered by Muslims in Syria, which the left don't even care about, and and this kind of thing. It's an awful thing, right? But if you can only care if your home has trouble, like a family member is sick or you've got a roof is falling in, you don't solve that problem by worrying about the neighbors on the other side of the street. You take care of your home first. So anyone even remotely near a Palestinian Hamas flag, October 7th fan club thing, you just remember that they're basically there to destroy Ireland. They're the ones who've raised their children to think that the flag of Hamas is the flag of Ireland. They're the ones who raised their children to think that when Patrick Pearse read the proclamation in 1916, he was talking about, the flight, the Islamic Jihad on, in the Eastern Mediterranean. This is what these people are up to. So when the official videos come out of the whole Michera thing, I want you to, Irish Americans, to use them to influence the prevailing Irish American culture within the United States. Because you're our family too. We're not going to abandon you like you have been in the past. And we feel for you. We feel a kinship with you, and this is like it's an SOS really, and in many ways, and a huge part of this is knowing what Sinn Féin finally did at the end of the day, with all the support that you gave them right through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s and 2000s. It's an awful thing, and the proof of that is how the Sinn Féin Islamic Revolutionary Party wing in Leitrim organised on purpose the destruction of an Irish cultural festival, because what more proof do you need? End of story. So that's my message to Irish Americans. Uh, the people and the whole culture behind Misha Era is the real Ireland, the real stewards of Irish culture, the real stewardship of Irish heritage. And do you want to come on? Do you want your children to come to Ireland, and the first thing they hear in the morning is the sound of Irish music coming down the street, or people coming home late from the pub singing Spancel Hill, or going? But the first thing you hear, and several times a day, is the Islamic call to prayer from the local mosque, because that's all Sinn Féin is offering Ireland going forward. Thank you very much.